welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about some books that I just straight up regret buying. Usually I don't have buyer's remorse instantly after buying a book because at that point I'm usually hyped about it. But when you buy as many books as I do and when you read as many books as I do, then you tend to accumulate some things where you're just like, well, I shouldn't just have gotten it in the first place. And the interesting thing is, for me to actually have like severe buyer's remorse, it's not just enough for me to like straight up hate the book, because sure, you would think that that's a good reason, like I don't like it so I shouldn't have bought it, but often honestly I don't mind that much if it's a book that I'm gonna talk about a lot in a video. For example, I prefer to be able to hold it up instead of having to put in a picture or just like vaguely talk about it. And I also find that for me it's really difficult to keep track of the books I've read in my mind when I don't visually see them, so I like having them just sitting there in the shelves even if I didn't enjoy them, because it just reminds me that I've read them. And like when I think about video ideas to do like lists on a certain topic or something like that, I just like think about them, right? Like they jump back into my memory really easily. That being said, the books I actually regret buying, I'm not gonna make a like generalized statement right now because I can't, so I'll just talk about these individually and why I regret buying them, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So the very first book that I really regret buying is one I recently bought, and I'll just mention this now because I actually have returned it, so whew, saved myself a whole lot of trouble. But this was kind of the book that instigated my idea for this video, so I did want to quickly mention it, and that is Malice by John Gwynne, and by extension actually this entire 4-book series, because me being kind of like delusional, I bought the entire box set because it wasn't that expensive and I thought maybe I'll love it, but I really didn't. I didn't even finish the first book. I read probably like 100 pages and violently despised it, so I ended up returning it fortunately. But at the moment of buying it, and like, oh, not really at the moment of buying it, but shortly after buying it and starting the first book, I was like, oh no. Oh no. I really regret this. This is why I tend to not do this as much, because it really never works out fine. In that same vein, I quickly want to mention this book because I do actually still have it, but I also returned it. And that is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Sometimes this happens with Amazon. When you try and return a book, they'll refund you the money, but they'll just tell you not to send it back because the cost of sending it back, because that's the cost that they have to cover, is more than the worth of the object you're sending back. And I didn't know this. It had never happened to me before, but in this case, they literally told me like, just keep the thing, here's your money back. And I was like, sure. So technically I returned this, and I obviously regretted buying it, but now I don't, because I have a book for free by accident, but I also don't like it, so I don't know if it's really that much of a win. The next book I regret buying is very different, and that is Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. If you follow my channel, you know that I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars, but the reason I regret buying it is because of the size. Now I could put like a million books into this video just talking about mass market paperbacks and that I hate them, but in this case particularly I am so sad because I really enjoyed this book, and I got the sequel, but the sequel is like 3 times the size, and it's like a nice huge paperback that looks really pretty, and then this is just the first book, and I'm not sure that at the time when I bought this there was an option to buy a different size paperback. Why is this even a thing? Do we need these? Do we really need these? Like, I don't know why this size is even an option. The next 2 books I regret buying I've had for a very long time, and I'm really sad about them. These are books 3 and 4 in the Noughts and Crosses series by Mallory Blackman. Double Cross and Checkmate. Which is which? Oh, this is the 3rd one. Checkmate and Double Cross. I really enjoyed this series, like the first 2 books when I read them back in like 2013, 14, something like that. And at the time, I really was into them. And then I bought the rest of the series, and I tried to reread the first book last year, I think, because I wanted to get back into it. I wanted to finish the series because I really enjoyed it, but I realized that it's just not for me anymore. It's too juvenile and too predictable, and I just can't get myself to read them anymore, unfortunately, and so I'm really sad. I really regret buying these and not instantly reading them. I regret sort of jumping the gun a little bit on these, and I'm sad because now, like, I don't want to really give them away, but I can't really put them on my red shelf because I haven't read them, so it's just a difficult situation all around. The next book I regret buying is a more recent one, and I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up, okay, of this month because I just read it, but that is Uzumaki by Junji Ito. So this is sort of like a collection of all mangas under the Uzumaki, like, title. The story of this revolves around a town that is haunted in Japan, that is haunted by a spiral, and every sort of chapter people die and like the story progresses and stuff. And I was really into this, like the idea of this, and I bought this edition, which is like 20 bucks, and it's like hardcover, like hardbound. It has really cool like art at the back pages and front. They're like in color and looking really cool, and that's why I got it. But I regret it because I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was much too focused on gruesome art than of like a compelling and suspenseful story behind it. The story was literally almost non-existent. There was just gratuitous horror, and I didn't find it scary, like, at all. I was prepared to be terrified of this book, and it just wasn't, and I didn't feel like I could DNF it because I paid so much for it. I just regret everything surrounding this, and I'm really disappointed. Again, we'll get into more detail on that in my wrap-up, but definitely a big regret here. In a similar vein, I also regret buying more of these graphic novels. I just missed the point where they weren't worth it for me anymore. And those are the Wicked and the Divine graphic novels by Gillian McKelvey, Wilson, and Cowles. These are volumes 1 and 2, but I think I also owned the third one and possibly the fourth one. Oh, did I buy the fourth one? I don't know. But my boyfriend has however many I've also got. I think only one more actually. I thought the premise for these was really cool, but the plot again is way too confusing, and it's just sort of, it gets really strange really quickly, and I'm pretty sure I didn't enjoy it anymore at the second one, like, or even at the start of the second one, but I kind of just missed the point of like stopping. I just regret it because obviously graphic novels, for what you get, are really expensive, and it's just not worth it when you don't enjoy them. I think especially when you spend so much money on something, you should be a little bit more sure that you're gonna enjoy it. And then again is a lesson I had to learn the hard way with these last two books. Here it's more the case of I regret buying them in this particular edition because I really didn't enjoy them. And that is Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This duology came in a box set. I mean, it's just visually stunning, like the beautiful pages, the hardcovers, just everything about this is amazing except the content. I should have just like bought one of them as a paperback for like $6 and read it, and because then I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have even gotten to Crooked Kingdom if I had read this, if I just bought this separately and read it. Wish I just could have the money back, and actually also the time that I spent on reading these, because not for me. And that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you have buyer's remorse when it comes to buying books, or if you go about it just a little bit smarter and maybe check them out from the library first. I've said before, that's not really an option for me, unfortunately. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel for new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and head on over here for some recent uploads that also might take your fancy, tickle your fancy. What's that expression? Who knows? I will see you very soon with another video. Have a lovely week. Bye!